Welcome everybody to Hodgepodge Woodworks. I'm Robert and my buddy Harry's here. Today I'll be turning an Acorn box. I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'll be turning. Right now I've got a piece of ash on the lathe. It's roughly, like a 3x3 cube. And then I've got a piece of oak, same dimensions roughly, which will be the lid. So my buddy Double D is here. I'll put him in the background and he can go through the chat once I get started roughing this out.
Excellent, and good morning, everybody. Right now, we have Sid's Repurposing, Gerard the French Turner, Dr. Bob, Shannon Duca is in the house, DIY Dark Matter, John S. Casting, Seth with Brickhouse Craftworks is in. We have Chris Spinning Wood Dodger, Bill Ellis is here. Douglas Mungum is in. BF Turning Barry Fisher. Hi, Barry. Welcome. Rex B is in as well. And that catches up with everybody that's in. So welcome. And don't forget to mash that thumbs up.
I'm going to stop and move the tool rest a little closer. Got one little flat spot here still.
Shannon says, good morning from Todd, Shannon, Aurora, and Andre. They have a family affair. Greetings, Duca family.
Welcome, everybody.
Steve Ash Lerner Turn his joints as well. I misread the description. Was trying to work out what a corn box was.
And for those of you guys that voted on my little wood turning poll on my YouTube community, thank you. I think I'm going to start probably doing that every week to get an idea of what you guys want to see. Maybe if I'm feeling adventurous, I'll put a suggestion option so I can get a bunch of crazy suggestions probably.
Melvin Rollins has joined. Hello, Melvin.
Welcome, Melvin. Alright, it's close enough. I'm going to go ahead and square off the ends. I'm just going to use a skew to do that.
Vicky Jenkinson has joined. Hi, Vicky. Welcome.
Welcome, Vicky.
DIY Dark Matter says, ooh, I have a bunch of suggestions.
Not turning any adult toys dark. So
Chris Dodds has joined, says, good day, everyone. Greetings, Chris from Australia.
I don't really see any reason to pick one or the other as the top or bottom. There's some figure here. You can see kind of a knot, which will probably be in the middle of the box either way. So I'm going to just go ahead and make the bottom where the tenon will be.
If you're not careful when you're turning that piece of ash, you could end up with a hole in it.
I think that's about the right size.
Todd said that is a pretty piece of ash.
Thank you. I'm glad you like my ash.
Dark is really digging your work sandals.
Thank you, Dark. I know you always like to see me in thongs. Just putting the dovetail on the tenon here.
Bill asks, how excited is Harry about having a piece of ash right there?
Yeah, he's a fan of ash in his face. I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to use my bigger skew because it gives more control at seams. And I'm going to go ahead and start rounding over the edge, which will be the bottom of the Acorn, just a little bit to get an idea.
Richard Phelan says, good afternoon, Hodge and everyone. Greetings, Richard.
Greetings, Richard. I think I realized I need to make this circle smaller, because if I want the cap to have kind of a muffin top over the base, then I need to go ahead and make this smaller. So I'll switch to the roughing gouge to do it a little quicker.
Woodturning by Barry has joined. Hi, Barry. As has Tracy Keaton. Hi, Tracy. How are you? Welcome to the Hodge and Harry Show.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining.
Seth is proud of you. He says he noticed that you're not watching the chat this time. So,
yeah.
Lessons learned. Nick Castle has joined. Hi, Nick.
All right. Let's see. Get my detail gouge and start kind of shaping the bottom to a rough shape. I don't want to take away too much wood before I start hollowing it out.
Blair with Good Turn Daily has joined. Hi, Blair.
This Acorn will just have a rounded bottom. It's not going to be able to like sit properly or anything. It'll just roll around. I guess it's something you could like put your drugs in and throw in your purse or something if you want.
Hodge, you didn't make Harry mad because he's got his back to you.
Now he was facing the camera earlier.
He thinks that camera's still on?
Yeah. I think that's good for now as far as how thin I take the bottom. And then later I'll probably reverse this and mount the inside as a mortise and turn off all this stuff on the foot. I've got a bit of tear out here up near the rim. I guess you guys can't see it, but I'm just going to try to clean that off a bit. Actually, that'll be the tenon for the box, so I will shave that down to form the tenon. Then try to clean off that shoulder just a bit. I'm going to try to move the overhead camera down a little so you guys get a closer view.
So everybody, welcome to the weekend. What projects everybody got going on? I just finished up my video for tomorrow, so I'll be starting my YouTube cross-channel challenge either today or tomorrow.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off and put it in the chuck. I'm still looking for something to use for my cross-channel challenge. I saw a post on Facebook Marketplace the other day of some burls that for some reason it said free washing machine on it, so I didn't decide to contact the lady.
Lawrence Bugasia has joined. Hi, Lawrence. Todd said he's starting to edit his challenge video today. Melvin Rollins is working on a cherry burrow with resin. Blair has a live at 10:30 Mountain Standard Time today.
That's cool.
Chris Spinningwood Dodger said, I made a pocket watch stand inspired by Pete from Twisted Trees and wood supplied by Tommy.
All right, go ahead and go to the side view camera. I'm going to go ahead and start hollowing this out.
Tracy's going to make another Tree of Life. That'll be awesome, Tracy. I enjoyed looking at that stuff.
Lower the tool rest a little. And I'll use a detail gouge. Actually, where's my drill thing? Should have used this earlier.
Those of you that
with the bowl gouge at first.
Awesome. For those of you that are on Facebook, Tracy has a crafting page for any and all makers to participate in. I'll put a link to that out here. So go check out that page and see what other crafters are making. Seth said he hasn't even started his piece. He's got to take a trip to the farm and then walk in the woods. Frederick Day has joined, so sorry I'm late. Hi, Frederick. Welcome.
Welcome, Frederick. I'm going to make a little dimple in the middle. I see where my my drill thingy is. So I'll make a hole for the drill to enter. And I'll grab it. Then I'll go ahead and determine the depth I want.
Dark.
There.
Dark just asked, what if you don't use Facebook? Well, Dark, if you don't use Facebook, then the page is still there. So that's kind of how that works.
Lower the tool rest a little. Now this is just a long drill bit that I made a little handle for. And I'll go ahead and drill to that marked line. If it wants to drill. That's weird. This is a hard ash.
Well, it's probably because you're sticking that pointy thing in it.
Maybe I should put some lube on it. I guess I'll just use a bowl gouge.
Dark says you need a Jacob's chuck.
Yeah, I could do that.
Frederick, nobody's kidnapped Harry. He's just out of the screen a little bit because of the angle of the camera. Seth says, I just flocked, read that carefully, a dice box I made for the daughter of a friend of mine. You need to send me a picture of that, Seth.
You flocked it good, Seth.
He flocked it like a boss.
I know hollowing's not the most entertaining thing to watch on a live, but I'm about halfway done.
So it sounds like we have some good projects going on. Hopefully everybody has good weather to support that and have a little bit of fun with all that.
I can't remember who's the next month's challenge chooser.
I'll have to look. I'll see if I can find that.
Paid attention to that recently.
Been busy.
It might be Hugh. He might have, because I remember like having to replace Hugh with Bruce or something.
Yeah, we switched, but I thought that was June.
Okay.
I'll see what I can find.
I think I'm getting about as deep in this ash as I feel comfortable going at the moment.
That's just the tip of your tool.
Yeah.
Shannon's asking, anyone with recommendations on where to find the best deals on resin molds? She and the kids are looking for more ways to make messes in Todd's shop. Todd might lose his shop if this keeps up.
Let me check the depth with my trusty depth gauge, which I'm just using a pencil. Still got like 1/4 of an inch.
Frederick Day says, the reason I was late is I managed to find a large piece of monkey puzzle. Has anyone turned it before? I have not. I know that Adam over at I Love Woodturning, Adam has turned a bit of monkey puzzle over on his channel.
Yeah, I know. I think Adam's got videos of it. So one thing I know is you always want to turn it in spindle orientation to get that branch detail. And then apparently the pith always ends up being a hole. So you're like going to have a funnel no matter what. So usually you plug it, I think, with another contrasting wood.
Yeah, there's a lot of place to get molds. I've looked on Amazon. I've used ice cube molds. Since most of the molds I do are pen blanks, if I do that, unless it's a hybrid form, then I just get mine from P-Town Subby or different places, depending. But
with Duca being the, creative kind of maker of his own stuff, I made these just out of HDPE that I bought off Amazon. It's fairly easy. They haven't leaked yet, so. But I would recommend getting the 3/4 inch thick HDPE rather than the, 1/2 inch that I got, because the screws you drill are kind of too thick for the 1/2 inch.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that thinner HDPE. Amy to Angeles has joined. Hi, Amy. Welcome.
Welcome, Amy. All right, I'm going to start thinning out the walls a little bit. I think I've gotten as deep as I want to go.
Todd says she wants more specialty molds. She has light switch covers, dominoes, self-defense, cats, stuff like that, more thingy molds.
If you want to, you might reach out to Toonpish Crafts. She's in the UK, but I know she makes a whole bunch of different resin stuff with different molds. Or Claire's Crafty Corner, I think, is another person who does a lot of resin stuff.
Okay, May, the challenge being issued for the month of May is Will Simpson over at Will Makes Everything.
I'll probably pick something weird.
Eric Winkler has joined, says, I'm here. Project looks boring, hollowing. LOL.
Nearly done. Sorry if you guys are hearing a loud whistle.
It's not too bad. Vicky points out, you still have to sand. Yeah, but it's not going to be a flaming Turner style sanding. Seth suggests the best bet for custom molds to get a vacuum chamber and silicone and make your own. I know that Todd has a vacuum chamber. I don't know how much silicone he has worked with, though.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start sanding. I had sandpaper laid out somewhere. Oh, there we go. So, turn on the dust collector.
The Wood Dude has joined. Hello, Wood Dude. Says, good afternoon, Hodge, earworms, and all you wonderful wood turners. Dark is leaving, says he's going to bed. Have a good one, Dark. Vicky says she really enjoys watching the whole process on live.
I'm going to adjust my volume real quick. I'm going to go ahead and sand the tenon now and leave it alone for the remainder of the process.
Bill wants to point out that you just stuck your finger in the ash.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't smell funny.
I don't think so.
Last thing you want to do is be working in the shop with some stinky ash.
Yeah. It's not good when you get a stinky beaver either.
Right.
There's a little tear out here just due to the ash's grain. Probably try to sand it out a little bit, but otherwise I'll just leave it, I think. Alright, good enough.
So how much of a difference in just the fine dust have you noticed since you got your dust extractor in?
It seems to, I mean, it does a great job when I'm sanding on the lathe like this. I did my project that will be my premiere video tomorrow. I was sanding with a random orbital sander, trying to use this dust collector also, but that didn't seem to work too well because the random orbital sander was just kind of slinging it in every direction. So I've got a crap ton of like fine dust just covering the garage right now. It's kind of annoying.
Gotcha.
But as far as sanding on the lathe, it does a great job.
Yeah, hopefully my shop should be built in the next 3 to 4 weeks. I'm hoping to be in it and fully functional within 6 weeks total. So
that's cool.
Of course, the dust collector I was going to get from Harbor Freight is back ordered until August. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but there's other options out there that aren't too much worse than that. So, I mean, converting it to a 2-stage will be the fun part.
For some reason, this wood has moved a little bit, maybe just from hollowing it out, so I'm going to re-square up the tenon real quick. Continue on with the sanding.
Todd says there are big things coming in the realm of tools. Just got to find the time and convert my designs on paper to Fusion 360. Sounds like fun, Todd. Bill suggests getting an ambient air cleaner too. I know I'm going to build one out of a box fan with filters. I'll do a 5-micron filter and then a 1-micron filter, and then just switch the filters out. It's pretty cheap and easy to do.
I've got one of those little, it's a wind, it's like a knockoff jet box,
Yep.
But I think I probably need to clean the filter already or go blow it off or something. I don't think it's being very effective at the moment.
Yeah. Vicky, we have a Harbor Freight, but they don't carry the dust collector in stock. So I'd have to order it, and online it says it's back ordered until August, wouldn't ship until then. And I want to, of course, install it when I do my shop build so that I can have everything run, since I'm going through a wall on part of it. So Todd said he's going to work on some rotisseries, steady rests, custom face plates and tool rests. I'm definitely interested in a potential rotisserie at some point, Todd. So it'd be nice to see what you'll come up with. Andy H is for turning has joined. Hi, Andy. Douglas Mung.
I think what I'm going to do at some point is just open up my garage door and get my leaf blower thing and just kind of blow everything out of the shop as far as dust goes, or at least try it. And hopefully that'll get most of it out of here. And then I can try to start fresh.
Douglas Mungum says Hodge might be an idea to get a box fan and boiler filter for the fine dust floating in the air. That's kind of what Doug Miller built one. There's been several people who have built them out of plywood and some fans and stuff. Seth said he has 2 of the Win air filters set up and they work really well.
Seth, do you have the smaller or the bigger one?
Yeah, I say the 2 different sizes.
I just went with the smaller one just to see how it worked. If it sucked or didn't suck, then I guess I was planning to return it on Amazon because they had free returns.
Yeah. Eric asked how big my new shop was going to be. It is going to be 16 foot by 18 foot. There will be a small room I'll keep separated out for my riding lawnmower, since I have 4 acres that I mow. So I'll have that separate because I don't want that covered with dirt or with dust and stuff. But I'll have my dust collector blower motor in that room, and then it'll filter back into the shop area so I can have heated and cooled air and not have to, and just recirculate some of that temperature. But yeah, I'm going to put in a plethora, maybe 2 plethoras of outlets for sure.
So right now I'm just putting on a thin or a coat of sanding sealer before I use abrasive paste. And then I don't know yet. Maybe I'll finish it with Mylan's friction polish rather than just wax.
Seth said he has 2 of the smaller ones. Radar the Woodturner has joined. Hi, Radar. Welcome.
Welcome, Radar.
Frederick Day says, I have an ambient air filter. It's amazing what it filters, even when you think the air is clean. Yeah, it makes there's somebody who did a setup, and they sanded something and came back the next day and filmed the fine dust particles all over everything. And then they did the exact same thing with the ambient air filter and showed how much of a difference it made just in that one small thing that they cut or sanded. I don't remember what it was, but it was pretty interesting. Seth said, I didn't see the point of getting the larger one at the time. After a while, I got the second one and set it on the opposite wall facing the other direction, so it gets a circular airflow effect.
All right, that'll work. going to use Axe Abrasive Paste now.
Tracy has to run to the store. She says, good luck on the Acorn. Thanks,
you.
Tracy. Have a good day. Eric says, I have 10 4-foot LED lights. Still not enough. Yeah, I was talking with Lewis up at the Klondike Craftsman, and because he has a really, really big shop. And he suggested looking on Amazon. So there's some that have, I think it's the Type A base on a regular light bulb. I don't remember the lettering. But they have some with those adjustable LED panels that put out 14,000 lumens per one.
If you're, let me switch cameras. I bought this at Costco. It's one of these.
Yeah.
Got it looks like a flying saucer, but there's 2 of them in it. The only problem is my light that has those kind of sockets is like a half dome, and I can't screw them in. I haven't tried like bending it yet. If that doesn't work, I'll just replace the light fixture with like a standard single thing. But I'm wanting to put lights kind of over in another section of the garage because it's dark in there.
Mark Inman has joined. Driving to the workshop. Kansas City Woodturners has an open shop today.
That's cool. I've got the Gulf Coast Woodturners have their meeting later today in 30 minutes, so hopefully I'll be done by then.
Seth has to run. He says he'll catch the rest later. Have a good one, Seth.
See you later, Seth.
I will throw a link out to the bulbs I'm looking at on Amazon. They're 16,000 lumens. Just in case anybody's looking for something, they're $40 for 2 of them.
Yeah, I think that was the same price as this at Costco.
Yeah.
And they had like a little display. It was like, press the button, see how
it's super bright.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess I'll try it. And
yeah.
It's Costco, so you can return anything.
Right. Eric says Rudley King has 4 25,000 lumens for $25 each. That's just a lot of lumens. I mean, 16,000 lumens is a lot too. I'm looking at having probably 4 of those in my workshop directly. So should be plenty of light. And then I'll have some spotlights around my lathe, of course, so I can see the fine detail if I need to.
All right. I'll go ahead and move on to the polish restoring paste. And then I guess I'll add the high speed or the friction polish to the inside since I won't have any way to apply it later.
Douglas Mungham says the sunlight types are better because they have more blue light. Yeah, that's definitely something to factor in. A nice thing is I'll have a couple of windows in the shop, nothing major, but natural light's always easier on the eyes. It's the nice thing, though, about brand new construction is you can do anything you want with it.
Clean it off with a fresh part of the towel real quick. And then I'll apply the friction polish. Get another piece of paper towel. Now, I forget who it was. I think it was on a live yesterday. They were asking about Mylans and if they made a friction polish, and yeah, here it is here. But I've gone ahead and put it in an easier to apply little squeeze bottle.
Radar says the light he just put in his building is 10,000 lumens. Bet you get pretty good light out of that, Radar. Bill says if you have a Menards in the area, they have a great selection with good pricing. They do, actually. Bill, I was looking at Menards. The downside to that is the ones they had that were pretty comparable price to the Amazon ones. Were, I want to say they were 6,000 or 8,000 lumens, but they do have a good selection. I mean, they have a lot of different lighting options available. We're doing some painting, and so to spotlight it, we got a freestanding shop light that's just two LEDs, like 2,500 lumens or something like that. That really makes it easier to see what you're painting, so you don't miss spots.
Yeah, we don't have Menards down here in Texas. So.
Hey, they have the best price in town right now on OSB. It's only $37 a sheet.
Go ahead and add some of the friction polish on the outside. Let's do it this way. And then turn the speed up. Okay.
Eric had a friend run dust collection under a concrete slab to his table saw and lathe. Yeah, I was still trying to figure out a layout of my building when I had the slab poured, of like where the tools were going to be, but it's a small enough shop that I'll be able to run it up through the upper part of over my head for the most part.
I know one of my friends in high school, I guess he was from a richer family. In his house, he had like built-in vacuum ports where you could just plug in a tube to the wall, and that would be like his vacuum to vacuum the floor and stuff.
The whole house vacuum system.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool if you could like implement that in the garage and have it like all behind the ducts, but I mean behind the wall. I guess it'd be bad if there was a clog or something though.
Right.
All right, so it looks pretty shiny. I'm gonna go ahead and.
That looks really nice. I like that graining.
Now I don't want to part this off because I think part of the tip of the Acorn is actually going to be in the tenon, so I'll have to part that off when I either reverse it or if I. How do I want to do it? I guess I'll finish the shape of this now, and then I'll work on the lid. Just have to do this gently so I don't make any marks on the inside. Then I'll go ahead and start shaping the bottom of this Acorn. I've never done one of these before, so the steps I'm doing might not be the most sense. This is ingrained, so could bring up the tailstock right now, but I guess I'll try to just be more gentle.
Just don't read the chat right now. Yeah, Vicky, that's the nice thing about Kansas is a lot of times spring and fall you can have all the windows open and fans blowing, and we actually put in an attic fan. So we just open all the windows and turn on the attic fan. It just pulls all the air through the house. Frederick Day asks, may I ask what you do with the items you have made? Do you sell them? I can't get rid of my stuff.
I have sold a few, but I haven't sold anything since before Christmas. You know, obviously with gifts and everything, Christmas is the big shopping time for like handmade gifts or whatever. I have an Etsy store, but only one person has bought something from there, and it was somebody in my like church group thing. And I really don't update my Etsy store often. I really should. I'm getting quite a bit of an inventory, so at some point I would like to do like a farmer's market thing, but I've gotten my full COVID vaccine now, so I might try that at some point.
Yeah, I've sold I've sold a few things. I've had some commissions, like the video I have premiering tomorrow is for a commissioned set of pens with a custom pen stand. So that's my video for tomorrow because I needed to do a smaller project as I'm ramping up for the cross-channel challenge video for the following weekend.
Just trying to blend in the curve here for this Acorn bottom. I don't want the tip to be as long as it is. I'm not any kind of Acorn connoisseur, but this is probably not to scale.
I think that looks pretty good. I mean, a little smoothing up at the transition, but
yeah,
I think the scale looks pretty good there.
I think I'll try to make this a little more of a curve here. But I don't want the tip to be too pointy to where it'll just like break off.
Andy H says, I have a village market next Saturday. It will be quite a relief to shift some stuff. Yeah, it'll be nice. We have a really large festival coming up in October called the Maple Leaf Festival in Baldwin City, which isn't too far from here. And so I'm hoping to set up a booth there this year. So I'm starting to stock up on inventory for that.
So I guess it would have made more sense if I would have just reversed it and then I could have done all the outside finish the first in one go around. But hopefully I'll remember that next time. So go ahead and do some sanding again once I find all the sandpaper. If any of you guys have suggestions on what you'd like to see me turn next week, you can go ahead and like throw them out there and I might add them to the little poll that I do later today. If you guys, I'm sure most of you have seen Steve at SK Crafts videos, his lives. He changed some stuff with how he streams the broadcast, and he's now streaming in 1080 HD. So I messaged him yesterday trying to figure out how he went about it and what changes he made. So hopefully I can have that done next week. And if so, then you'll no longer have a little StreamYard duck in the corner. So hopefully none of y'all have grown as attached to the duck as you have with Harry.
I haven't, honestly.
All right, cool. All right, that's the end of the sanding. Go back to the polish stuff.
Vicky says, cool, I see an acorn emerging.
That's a good thing.
Harry always likes to have a nut come out of his ash.
Yeah. All right. Clean that off. And then go with the other one.
I love Woodturning. Adam has joined. Adam, we're turning a piece of ash right now. We're making an acorn box out of a piece of ash and a piece of oak.
Now I will go to the friction polish.
Adam asks, why do I keep joining it at seemingly inappropriate mid-sentences? Because you have good timing, Adam.
All right. So that's it for the base. Take that off and get the magnet. Shouldn't get. Okay.
Eric Winkler says, like the Acorn, I have to go start my live edge walnut bowl. See you all later. Have a good one, Eric. Thanks for coming by.
All right. I'll get the chuck taken off so I can put the tailstock back in, or the live center. No, drive center. Clear off the bedways again. Got too much stuff.
Mark Inman says, sorry to circle back. He was driving, though. Better safe than sorry. Mark says, I have 18 of the LED shop lights I got from Sam's Club. They are linkable and on a remote.
All right. Oops.
Mark, if you can, text me a link or send me a link to that so I can take a look, because I'm still kind of deciding what I want to do. So I'm leaning the way of the link I sent on Amazon, but I'm always open to options. So whatever's going to work out best for my space, of course. Eric said he would check back to see the final project. Awesome, Eric. Thanks. And don't forget to mash those thumbs up if you're enjoying what Hodge and Harry are working on.
Move the box out of the way, and then I'll go round up this piece of oak with my roughing gouge.
Douglas says he's going on 1 minute of silence for Prince Philip's funeral. Steve Ash says he is just finishing a purple baseball bat with gold leaf. That'll be cool to see.
Still got a few flat spots. A little bit more.
It's got some nice feathering right there.
Yeah. There's some weird cracks, like it was kind of a burl at one, near a burl or something. Hopefully it won't make a difference. I'll true up the ends with the skew. And see if I can tell which would be a better bottom. To avoid the cracks, I guess there's one bigger one here. I think this will be the bottom. And obviously this is way too big of a chunk of wood that I need for the lid.
Frederick Day asks, what was the hardest item you have turned? His was a very large hollow form.
I don't know. I mean, there's some pieces that I've turned that I haven't finished because they're just kind of a pain in my butt. So maybe those would be them. Or like sometimes, for whatever reason, I can't get sanding marks out. I guess that would be pretty annoying sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off to put it in the chuck, but I think I might need to cut this little nub off so it can actually go all the way in. What am I doing?
Steve Ash said his hardest was a Taurus.
For whatever reason, I haven't tried turning too much variety of stuff at the moment. I've pretty much only done bowls, platters, a few hollow forms, and then of course like some pins and random kits, but I've like never really turned a goblet before. Only turned a handful of boxes. Eventually I'll try out more stuff.
Yeah, I can tell you that the challenges have really pushed me to try new things. I mean, I've done more hollow forms than I had ever done, but probably the most complicated one that I did was last month's water challenge piece where I did the carving. Thank you, Todd Duca, for showing me the appropriate stance to sit in when carving. But no, that was probably one of the more complicated pieces I've done.
All right, I got the little bit cut off with the bandsaw. Now I'm gonna fit this in the chuck and start shaping the lid and getting it to fit. Move the tailstock. Actually, I'll leave the tailstock up first. Nah, I'll take it out.
Yeah, I agree, Vicky. The challenge videos are great. Just everybody's take on them, all the creativity that everybody has is just really, really awesome. Some guy from Texas named Brad, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him, but he just joined, says he can't stick around, but wanted to pop in for a second.
Welcome, Brad.
I hear he makes some abrasive paste and some tongue wax something. I don't know.
Never heard of it.
But welcome, Brad. Sorry you can't stick around, but we understand.
All right, so I'm not really sure how big this thing needs to be. Just kind of eyeballing it and getting an idea. Probably not the best way to go about it. You could always take measurements with a caliper, but try to just sneak up on it.
Chris asked, is it Brad Axe Double D? I don't believe they are affiliated.
No, they're two separate pastes. Go ahead and check that. I'm well below the pencil line, but since I didn't measure, and I learned an interesting tip from Emma the Tiny Turner yesterday when she was making her cupcake box, is when she does jam fits, she wants to have roughly 75% of the tenon fit in the mortise, and that'll provide enough friction or holding power, I suppose. Like right now, nothing's fitting, so it's well below. Probably went too big there, but I've got plenty of extra room, I guess. All right, so right now I've got about like 50% fitting.
Frederick says, I do sometimes make my own waxes using mineral oil and beeswax. Seems to work okay. Yeah, there's a lot of waxes that are used, and they work out pretty well. Axe has their polishing restoring paste, which works really good, puts a really nice shine and polish on it. I personally, like I said, I tend to use Brad's just because I like how the tongue wax really soaks in and works, especially under the high friction. Dave, the Mole Valley Maker, has joined.
Well,
Hi, Dave. Welcome.
So nearly there.
Dave put out his challenge video the other day. It was a nice piece.
All right, so there's just a hair left to take out before I can pop it in there, I think.
Bill Ellis uses Howard's Feed and Wax.
I always see that at the store, and I'm like, I kind of want to buy it, but then I don't because, I don't know, I've got enough finishes. Damn it, now it's too loose. So, like I said, I got plenty of space, so I'm going to make a little mark where it's at currently with a pencil, and then I'll remove this bit. And then redo all of that.
Brad says that Howard's does smell great. Benjamin has joined. Hi, Ben. Welcome.
Welcome, Ben. Now I'll use the skew to straighten up the shoulder here.
John PBH says, hi, guys, from Spain. Hi, John. Welcome.
See, if this were a edited video, I'd get it done on the first try.
It's okay, Hodge. It's just nerves because everybody's watching.
Yeah, I was hoping to get done by 9 o'clock, but oh well. I'll take a little less off there.
Rob from Copperell Woodturning has joined. Said he's sorry he is late.
Welcome, Rob. All right. This is one of the things you have to do with boxes if you want to get like a tight fit. The Woodturners fit, I guess is what they call it.
Yeah, which is really the only people who really care about how tight it is.
With this particular box, since it's like something you just kind of throw in it doesn't stand up right. There's like not gravity holding the lid on, so it kind of has to be a tighter fit than usual.
No, absolutely.
Okay, getting closer. The thing you have to remember when you take these small cuts, you're like, that's too small of a cut, and then you realize that it's doubled since it's on each radius.
Frederick Day says, if the lid nearly fits, I use sandpaper. I suffer from the one last cut syndrome.
I think after this, I'm using sandpaper if I can't get it on there. Yeah. I'll use some sandpaper here real quick.
When you're doing that final sizing, do you typically go with like 80 grit or 120?
I use 240 right there. I mean, there's not much material to be removed. I mean, I could probably get it on if I wanted to hit it harder, but I mean, I'd probably use, yeah, I can go with 240 still. It's just a little bit left.
Rexby has a question. What size is Hodge's dust vacuuming opening? Is it 12 inches and where did you get it?
I bought it from Craft Supply as like this whole kind of kit that attaches to your, maybe I didn't make this deep enough. It should be deeper. Let me see if the sticker says something. Just says big horn. I think I'd say it's 12 by 6. One last sand. And then it should be good.
Todd says, if you go undersized, building up a few thin layers of CA can be a lifesaver. Brad says he's used lacquers once or twice, too.
All right. So that's all the way in. I'm going to start shaping this now, or at least hollow out the inside a bit, and then go from there.
Joe Garofalo has joined. Hi, Joe.
Welcome, Joe. Need to make sure not to touch that edge and ruin all that time I just spent.
Ben says, be good to see how this box ends up after a few weeks. Whenever I use two different woods, the fit ends up being pretty bad.
Yeah, probably. I can always just sand a little bit off, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you'll always have a... I mean, it wouldn't be so easy on the Acorn part, but on the lid, you could at least have part of a way to mount it on some jaws if you needed to.
Yeah, I could always make a jam chuck to fit this in, but I think, I don't know, sooner or later I'm buying a vacuum chuck, so I'll just go from there.
Rex B asks, when buying a coffee, is that a one-time charge or weekly or monthly? I believe it's a one-time thing.
There's a way you can set up like a membership, but I haven't done anything like that at the moment because I don't know what I'd offer you guys behind the scenes, unless you just want to like have a camera pointed at Harry all the time.
24/7 Harry live stream. That could get awkward at times, I think. I mean, goodness, he sent me his nuts and his seed, and that was...
Yep.
I washed my hands for at least 20 minutes after that.
I'm going to call that done on the inside for now, besides the sanding part. Well, I guess I need to do sanding now before I do anything else. I'll do a quick sand. Making sure to avoid the tenon or the mortise part.
Rex says Harry would get stuck on a vacuum chuck. Ben says you could call it Beaver Stream. Yeah.
We'll get the wrong kind of viewers.
Right.
Turn the dust collection on.
They're more here for Harry anyway, Hodge. It's okay. Don't take it personally.
Oh, I'm sanding the outside, but I'll sand the face. No, I don't need to sand that either. So, grab 120. And 240.
Blair said that Harry would probably like getting stuck on a vacuum chuck. Chris says you could swap the duck out for a beaver when you go to your new streaming option if you get to.
Maybe. Go ahead and put the axe paste on, if I can find it. There we have it.
Dave says Harry is much quieter in live streams. Yeah, he's pretty shy in front of live cameras and audiences.
Yeah.
We're working on that, though. He might get brave at some point.
I keep hearing him snicker when there's some ash jokes, but I don't know, he wants to keep to himself.
Bill says disaster if the chuck was spinning when he got stuck on that vacuum chuck. Yeah, that I don't know. He might enjoy that too.
Often wondered if he's going to get sucked into the vacuum, but I guess there's a grid back here, so he wouldn't get far.
Rex says a friend made him a vacuum chuck system with a 4-inch opening for just over $200 with an oilless motor.
That's cool. There's one that I've seen, forget the name of it, it's on Craft Supply or Woodturner's catalog, whatever you call it, but uses some kind of Venturi system, so you don't even need a vacuum. You just hook it up to an air compressor, and then it does some kind of stuff to turn it into a vacuum on the, I guess, input side, output side.
Ben asked if anyone watched the Shady Acres. Yeah, I think a lot of us watch Phil over there. But he says he uses a kind of liquid wax for his pieces. What would be something similar in the UK? I'm not sure.
I'm going to go ahead and shape the general out, the backside part. Once I do this, I'll put the bottom on so I can get the right kind of curve. But for now, I'll just shape the general shape of the lid. So I just realized that I kind of probably did this in the wrong order, because now I'm going to have to try to part this off, because I can't mount the lid on the base to finish the cap part.
Are you going to leave a little piece sticking out of the cap part to simulate where it hangs off the tree?
Yeah, I was going to try to, but I'm not sure how much space I'll have to do that here.
I didn't know if you could use a parting tool to narrow that down a little bit.
Yeah, I might just make this the...
Rob with Copper Owl Woodturning says Phil usually uses shellac or sometimes Howard's feed and wax.
Oops. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and mount the bottom part here, so I can shape the part here, the lid part, better to it. Get a more detail type spindle gouge. I already kind of shaped it a little too much already. I would rather have had a better overhang.
Frederick says that wood looks a lot like walnut, but I think you said it was oak. Perhaps it's just the video setup. I don't think it's quite as dark as a lot of the walnut I've seen. Ben says, cheers. Turns out it is available in the UK. That's awesome.
Just trying to get a better bead shape here.
Leona Faye has joined. Hi, Leona. Welcome.
Welcome, Leona. Switch to the skew now, just for fun. Now I'm going to switch back.
There, you had your fun.
I'll try to flatten this off a little bit. Suppose now I can take off the bottom before it flies off or something.
Right.
I would have liked to have this a little larger diameter. I took too much off before I put the bottom on, so it doesn't stick up as much. But
I didn't think it looked bad though.
No. Okay. Move this up closer. This sanding thing's in the way. All right.
That's a little too close.
Yep.
Ben's trying to start a fight. He says, hi, Leona. Pro Edge is better. Steve T has joined with Temple Boy. Hi, Steve. He's playing with some wobbly wood.
I think I have an idea. I can just reverse this and put it like I had the bottom, and that would make it a lot easier, I think. except I have to get it the right spot. Okay, there we go. That'll make this way easier if it doesn't fly off.
Steve Ash says, "Be careful, Hodge. Ideas can be dangerous."
Suppose I can also got an even better idea. I can bring the tailstock up for now so it doesn't come off, since I don't want to put too much pressure on it.
It's too bad you can't offset that a little bit and turn the nubbin part at a slight angle.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that, but
it's a lot more work.
Yeah. I'm going to switch tool rests because this is so big. One of these days I'm planning to buy a smaller, robust one, but this is specifically for finials. It's a Steve Center finial tool rest, so it's kind of weird the way it's only off to one side, but Cindy Drozdy uses them a lot, but I'll make sure to cut specific right over the bar, the vertical bar. So
Peter Corcoran has joined. Says, "Hi, sorry I'm late." Hi, Peter.
No problem, Peter.
Chris Spinningwood Dodger says, "You could leave it wide and carve a curved nub."
Yeah, this piece is probably just going to hang out in the garage until it gets lost, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Seriously, I don't even know where my tool went that I was using earlier. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know why I would put it underneath the lathe.
Well, at least you didn't drop it on your toe.
Okay, move the tail stock now. And lower the tool rest. Move this over a little bit. I'm not really sure what Acorn tops look like, but we'll just go with that for now.
They look like whatever you make them look like.
This tool rest is weird. I'm going to switch back to the other one now that the tailstock's out of the way.
Is it just too small, or?
Yeah, I could feel it, like some vibration when I got not directly over the post.
Gotcha. Vicky asks if you're looking at an Acorn or just turning one from what you recall.
I'm just turning it from, memory, although I don't really have many memories of Acorns. This, I guess what you see on TV or pictures. All right, there's too much stuff here, so I'm going to get rid of all that.
John has a great comment. He says, "This Acorn looks just like the one you're making. Isn't nature wonderful?" Steve T says, "The dude from Ice Age movie is going to appear in a moment, punch Harry in the face and run off with the acorn?
I don't know. Harry's, he's got nunchucks.
He's pretty protective of his nuts. Bill Ellis says, I have hundreds in my yard each fall. I have little teeny tiny ones because we have some pin oaks around. So we have like super small acorns.
Just trying to get this little curve a little nicer looking. All right. Flatten this part off because I feel like they should be flat for some reason. All right. Switch back to the bowl gouge and round this over a little better. Now just do some sanding real quick. And I guess we'll be done. Turn the speed down.
Vicky said, when I lived in Kansas, there were all kinds of trees everywhere. Now, not so much. Yeah, there's some places in different states that have a lot of trees. Like here in Kansas in the northeast corner, if I knew my directions, we have a lot of trees and rivers, creeks, hills, stuff like that. You get out to western Kansas and there's practically nothing. Bill Ellis says, Harry may be protective of his nuts, but he likes to flaunt them. That is true. I mean, he mailed me some last week. I had to cut them down and I had to shave them back a bit with my lathe tools.
Yeah.
Frederick says, nothing wrong with that acorn. It's good turning.
All right. I'm going to add the abrasive paste here shortly, and then, well, actually, I'm going to skip that process. I'm going to do something different. I was planning on using a tool that I've got that I don't think I've ever used. It's a knurling tool, Wagner texturing tool. It's got like a, I don't know, what do you call that? Just a bunch of spikes, kind of. So I'm going to try to add that on the edge here.
Cool.
See how it works.
Dave says, Harry's got teeth. Who would fear a beaver with teeth?
So move that back. I think it's supposed to be on center, I'm guessing. So I think what I recall is you just kind of press it in, and then you can move it. It's probably just going to look like crap.
Rob with Copper Owl says it's a good looking acorn.
I guess if this looks terrible, I can always, it's all right, I guess. Let's see what happens when I put the paste on it.
Adam says he might do an hour live after this on his monkey puzzle project. Somebody was asking earlier about turning monkey puzzle, what it was like. I don't remember who it was. It was a while back.
All right, let's do that.
I apologize.
Hit it a little lightly with 320 grit just to get any fuzzy stuff off.
Ben says, I think you have to have slow RPM for that, Rob.
Probably.
Frederick says he thinks it's a metal knurling tool for use on metal lathes, but he could be wrong. I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, I bought it from Craft Supply, I believe.
Oh, it was Frederick who asked about the monkey puzzle. There you go. Check out I Love Woodturning Adam's channel, Frederick. He's done several on it, and if he does live again here in a bit, then you can watch and chat with him on that.
So I'm just going to quickly apply the stuff.
Chris with Bailey Woodworks has joined. Hi, Chris.
Welcome, Chris.
I give Chris a shout out on my channel video tomorrow because I got stickers in the mail from him. So thanks for those, Chris.
All right. So there are some cracks in this walnut. Hopefully it won't affect the finish. I mean the fit. Like if it got too loose all of a sudden due to the cracking. Do the last paste here.
Peter Corcoran says that is a texturing tool specifically for doing what you have done.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever seen it, is to do Acorn tops. But yeah, I think it's probably better at a lower RPM. I've had it for years, and it was actually kind of, the wheel wouldn't spin very well, so I put some oil on it and did it on some test wood, and it seemed to free itself up or lubricate itself. Now I will do the last friction polish bit, then we'll call it good. You've got to be careful when you're doing it so close to the chuck. So you never use cloth towels like this, because it could get caught and rip your fingers off.
Those towels tear apart really, really easily. I've not run into that issue at all with the blue ones.
Yeah, I had some of the, when you do this friction polish, it gets kind of grabby sometimes if you build up the heat and it gets tacky.
Gotcha.
I did some rip off earlier when I was doing the body of it, just from the stickiness of it, I guess. All right, that's good enough.
It's nice and shiny.
Now I will loosen this, make sure I do it the right direction, and go to this camera, find the bottom, then go ahead and it's got a nice, okay.
Hercules, Hercules.
Oh, yeah. Fits nice. See if I can get you the texture part. You can kind of see the texturing going on.
Yeah, that looks nice.
There we go. But there's a little acorn. I guess it's not very big. It's a big acorn, but it's a tight fit. I'm worried. There you go. So, yeah.
It's got that nice tight fit. That's a good one to put your arthritis pills in.
Yeah. Got a nice snap. So, thank you guys for watching. I think it's need to buff it. I can see some streaks due to the friction polish, but I think it's decent for my first Acorn box. Might try a few more.
Golf to Actual says it looks very nice. They've joined. Greetings. Everybody's saying it looks really nice, Hodge.
Thank you, guys. Harry says, thanks for watching.
Now get to your club meeting.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and end this broadcast and see you guys tomorrow in my premiere, maybe. But once again, I'm going to put up a community post on my YouTube channel with a poll on what you guys want to see next week. So make sure to vote when you guys see it. But thank you guys for watching.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.